5:22. Jake Hartford here on Awake with Jake on 89 WLS. It is the Memorial weekend. General Petraeus, the head of the CIA, is in town, and he will be in the parade today. Kicks off at noon down. I believe it's going down State Street. And if you're coming down and you're going to park, you want to park on the streets, put your little money in the pay box and park. Not again, not this weekend. You have no parking signs up all throughout the loop. What does that mean? Well, that means the parking company is going to send another bill to the mayor. Because when they block streets off and they can't make money on those boxes, they want to be reimbursed. And that's another bill the mayor will just say, "Hey, not paying it." And then yesterday I saw on the news last night apparently the police department, some officers they're filing a grievance. They're looking for their NATO. I know there was controversy going into the NATO meeting that they wouldn't give them comp time. They were going to give them money instead of the comp time, but apparently they're not giving them money either in some cases. That's why they're filing a grievance. I kind of like that attitude. Hey, don't pay. Bill me. I don't care. I'm not paying. Then I saw all those kids yesterday picketing out in front of Sallie Mae about their student loans. And I think 85% of the money that of kids with loans doesn't go through Sallie Mae. They have to argue with somebody about that, but the whole idea they don't want to pay their loans back. It's catching. The mayor's onto something. You know, when they come to get you, ask for your taxes, pay your property taxes, just tell them, "Hey, I'm not paying. I don't agree with them. Not paying." Works for the mayor. It's going to work for these kids. Yeah, not paying. Bob in Buffalo Grove. Good morning, Bob. Welcome to 89 WLS.
Good morning, Jake. Paul couldn't come up with the date. I'll give you the date for Memorial Day, May 30th. And you were right calling it Decoration Day. That brings back my memories of my grandmother, who always referred to it as Decoration Day. Why? Because that was the day we decorated the graves of the dead Civil War.
And I always remembered when I was growing up. That's when the lilac trees would come out and bloom.
The other thing was also sometimes people refer to it as Poppy Day. Because back years ago, I don't know if they still do it. I haven't been going downtown lately, but around this time of the year, they would sell poppies in remembrance again of the flower to put on the graves of the Civil War dead. And that's one thing I feel a little bit disappointed that we don't recognize that was our tragic war, that we lost 600,000 men. I mean, it was just devastating how many people that we lost in that war, our own war, and we just completely forget about that particular battle.
And Lincoln's presidency was basically just made up of the Civil War.
Yep. And also some other stuff that you may have not read in this week's paper.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, you probably know, maybe know. Right now, the veterans that are coming back, about 20% of them are now unemployed. Yet, this week, I've been hearing rumblings. Congress wants to bring in more foreign workers.
I don't know.
It's amazing.
I don't know why they can't. They're talking about the TSA and the TSA, they don't get law enforcement training. Do you know that?
Nope. I can imagine that,
They don't. If there's a problem, they have to call the local law enforcement to come and deal with it. And I don't know why, if they really want to upgrade the TSA, really make it professional, I don't know why they can't use the people that served in our military.
Yeah.
But the other story, you mentioned foreign workers. Here's what shocked me. We're at a 20-year low on kids in high school getting jobs for the summer.
I heard that one last night.
I know our younger kids looking for a job.
Yep.
591-8900, anybody out there. But anyway, but then I read about the State Department's summer job program for foreign kids.
Yeah,
100,000 kids are coming to the United States to become lifeguards and all kind of stuff.
I mean, what Congress is doing is just unbelievable.
You know what? This country is being run so crazily, I could run it the way it's being run.
Well, you and your listeners have a great Memorial Day, and just remember our Civil War dead that people forget about.
All right. Thank you, Bob. Take care.
Have a great day.
Yeah, 100,000 kids, foreign student workers. They've been doing this for a while, but you know what? They could have cut it back. Apparently last year they had a problem. There was some candy factory in Pennsylvania where a bunch of these foreign students staged a protest. They were complaining about isolation and overwork. Yeah. So the State Department this year, they put out some guidelines this month on May 11th. They put out some rules. These students can't do jobs that would be harmful to them and would limit their ability to see light. Because the State Department wants to create goodwill. You want some goodwill? Take those 100,000 jobs and give them to our kids here in the United States. Be it the high school kids, the college kids. My wife has been running into people whose kids have graduated from college. And they're telling her stories about they can't get jobs, even any kind of jobs. And we're giving them 100,000 jobs to foreign students because we want the other countries to like us. You know what? Like this. I'm sorry. I saw this the other day and I'm like, come on. Kids are looking for jobs here. Grown-ups are looking for jobs here. Adults are looking for jobs. And we're bringing 100,000 from other countries to come here. Attitude is wrong, then I'm wrong, but I'll admit it. This is my attitude. Anyway, we'll get to your calls 591-8900. A lot of stuff we're going to get to between now and 8 o'clock when Paul Bryan gets here with Drive Chicago. We'll keep you informed. We'll be happy. We'll be positive. But I'm positively angry at the fact we got 100,000 foreign students coming here, huh? Anyway, it's 5:30. Back after this on 89 WLS. Awake with Jake. Our phone number 591-8900. Rob on the Northwest Side. You're on 89 WLS, sir.
Oh, good morning, Jake. Boy, did you hit one that really frosted my backside. The unemployment level. Okay, you got our guys who are supposed to have been coming home a long time ago. Do you remember Obama's promise? I'm going to have the guys out in a year. I'm going to have them home in a year.
Yeah.
Okay, well, why do you think they're shifting him to Afghanistan? Now, I've got friends over there who have gone there, and they say there's no defined mission. We don't even know why we're here. Okay, here's why. Because if they brought all our guys home right now, the unemployment level would spike. And we both know that the unemployment level isn't the 8% that the government says it is. We all know that it's about 30%.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of people who have quit looking for jobs. There's a lot of people, their unemployment has run out, and they're going on the disability rolls. I mean, that's up dramatically. Whether there's this, actual plan to keep people in Afghanistan so they don't come here, I don't know. I don't know if they're that.
I honestly believe there is, Jake. I honestly believe there is. Because they know that if they brought the troops home now, pre-election, God help them, the Democrats would get slaughtered, and they know they're going to get slaughtered.
Yeah, but I keep hearing there's no unemployment problem. Things are getting better. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, who's telling you that?
When I turn on the TV, that's what I see.
Well, gee, I don't suppose the news media is an extension of the DNC, do you?
Well, I know the housing market is still in the tank.
Oh, and let me tell you something. Do you remember Obama standing on the bridge? We're going to fix the bridges and the infrastructure?
Oh, there was one recently he was on that didn't need fixing.
Well, guess what? He's got Red Chinese here doing it. In California. They're fixing the Bay Bridge.
I have to look that up. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This is turned into the 4th of July weekend, the All-American weekend. We had to do that. Remember those days? Zavid in Chicago. You're on 89 WLS.
Good morning, Jake. Yes, your attitude is definitely not wrong. It's right about those 100,000 of, this is the first time I heard this. I don't know how long it's been like this, but I'm very frustrated too. So you're not the only one. And I think it's the right attitude, and we should all think about this country before we think about ourselves.
I know we've done this program. The State Department's had this for a while. And, maybe when our unemployment was down near, 4% and, maybe that's fine. But, we're up over 8. And some states, what's it in Nevada? It's like 15 or something. You know what? When we have that type of unemployment and the kids can't get jobs, maybe we stop this program for a couple of years and let our kids work.
You know what? Giving money to others, they're not going to like you. It doesn't matter what you do. If they like you, they like you. If they like you because you're the person you are, not because you give them something. So giving jobs or giving money to other countries, it does not work. It works maybe for a while, and then it stops. As the money stops, then the liking stops.
It's a nice experience for the kids coming here from other countries, and they'll take some money back that they'll spend in their countries, rather than our kids working here spending it in our country.
In our country, yeah. What you're saying is correct, because yesterday, believe it or not, I'm going to tell you a true story. Just yesterday happened. I called my brother's lawyer in California, Los Angeles. The lawyer told me that my brother didn't come from the jail. And I said, what do you mean? He said, they didn't bring him because there is shortcuts of the LASD, which is the sheriff department. They made a cut because they couldn't find drivers, I guess, to bring those inmates to court. So are we going to bring the other foreign to do the job? I don't get it.
Or either that or let the inmates drive themselves. Yeah,
exactly. Or just give them freedom, especially if they're innocent, like my brother.
Thank you, Zaman. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Speaking about, she mentioned about how other countries think of us, what they're going to say about us. I'm on this thing now about when I die, what people are going to say about me at my wake, at my funeral. And I've been just kind of testing the waters with the family. I just want to see. And I got to tell you, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good at all. Yeah, and then if other people outside the family come, it's just going to get really bad. Mike in Antioch. Good morning, Mike. You're on 89 WLS.
Hey, good morning, Jake. Thanks for being there. And I take it this is a new segment of Awake with Jake, Burn My Butt segment.
What happened to your butt?
No, I said this is Awake with Jake's Burn My Butt segment.
Oh,
with the report of 100,000 jobs going to foreigners. Well, that's just the least of it. But I wish you would distinguish when you say Congress. It's the Senate Democrats that are up to all this mischief, spending our money that we don't have.
Well, this is coming out of the State Department, and I don't, the State Department gets their money from. I don't even know where they get their money from.
Any idea how many of these jobs that Illinois is going to get?
I have no idea.
No. So
you know what? It's funny because I saw something a couple weeks ago came through my email about somebody who was bringing kids here from I want to say Ireland or something.
Well, I do know I need my lawn raked and things of that nature. I wonder if I'm going to get any of these foreigners that come in.
Well, you don't get it for free. You've got to pay them. They're going to earn money here.
Hey, I can have the illegals do it for less. Oh, talk about burning my butt. Senator Vitter has got a Senate bill on the floor to eliminate $4.1 billion that the IRS has been given to illegals for child care credits.
Yeah, I've seen that.
All he wants to do is have them submit a Social Security number to get that child care credit. It's an easy thing to do, but we need to call Senator Vitter's office and Durbin's office and let them know, stop having the IRS give out this $4.1 billion.
Anything to do with immigration, no one's going to touch.
Well, they should. I went on the border in April 2005 to bring awareness to the illegal alien problem, and a lot of these efforts have gone for naught, and the border agents, they're American heroes too, as well as our military.
It's tough down there. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, bye.
Let's go to Will on the southeast side. Will, you're on 89 WLS.
Good morning, Jake. Hey, Jake, I really enjoy you, and I really do. I too knew it was a Declaration Day. Believe it or not, I believe I had a calendar with that on it, and I remember back learning that in school, and Jake, when you look at the unemployment rate, especially amongst black teenagers, it's so high until it's atrocious, and for foreigners to be brought in and given jobs that our teenagers here could have and be working, it would eliminate a lot of the problems that we do have here. And speaking of Joe Biden and the things that he said about who was catching hell, who caught more hell than we black people did? I mean, this day is dedicated to a group of people who fought over what we black people were forced to build. I wonder when we will have African Day, because we were forced to build the country that they fought over. And I wonder if that will ever come about. Do you think so?
I have no idea. I have no idea. The way we're going is I don't think there's a plan. I always thought that somebody had a plan somewhere, but I don't think there's a plan anymore. I really don't. I think it's fly by the seat of your pants.
I just really don't think it's a plan anymore. And believe it or not, before it's Democrat and Republican, all black people are not Republican. I mean, not Democrat.
See, the sad part, Will, is you mentioned the unemployment in the black community with the kids. That number, it was 20%, something like that is the number I've seen. That number is so high that people they'll look at these 100,000 jobs from, the Ford students that are coming here and they'll say, well, those 100,000 wouldn't really put a dent in the 20% in the black community. Well, you know what? There's still 100,000 jobs.
Yes, it still is. Believe me or not, it still is. And a lot of those jobs, what's wrong with giving them to our children that are here that do need it? What's wrong with that? I mean, I don't understand this administration at all. Believe me or not.
Every desert starts with one grain of sand.
Every desert and every flood starts with one drop of rain.
Exactly.
Jake, I enjoy you.
Thank you, Will. See, that's what you got to remember. Because I hear that all the time. Well, it's $4 billion, or it's this, or it's 100,000 jobs. But you know what? It is 100,000 jobs. The pipeline, 22,000 jobs. It's 22,000 jobs. Look at the neighborhoods, houses for sale. Imagine if you had 20,000 jobs, people working. You wouldn't, you know what I mean? Here's a question I have. And this just went through my mind. Remember the $50 million bounty they had for killing or information leading to killing Osama bin Laden? Did they ever pay that off? The reason I ask is, if you've been following it, the Pakistani doctor who was instrumental in confirming that bin Laden was in that compound, the Pakistani government has put him in jail for 33 years for treason, for helping us. Because the big mouths in Washington couldn't keep their damn mouth shut about how bin Laden was caught. Who was it? Was it the defense secretary? The security guy was on TV a few weeks ago during the 1 year anniversary, and he was kind of joking about how when they had that operation, everybody agreed to keep their mouth shut for at least a week before they would start leaking stuff. And he said it started leaking that Monday. I mean, you saw the thing about they're making the movie and they granted access to this one room at the CIA that's so secret they can't even give you the name of the room, but they let the people in the room. So this poor doctor, this poor Pakistani doctor who was the one who was doing these tests so they can get DNA samples to confirm it was bin Laden in there, the word about him got out, and he's going to be in jail for 30-some years. And that's what got me thinking. I wonder does he get the $50 million? I would hope they'd give him the money. Dot in Lake Forest. Welcome to 89 WS, Dot.
Good morning, Jake. When you were talking about bringing in the 100,000 students or kids from other countries, I had a friend that was at a Social Security office in Lake County, and they brought in a busload of Chinese students, all with their cell phones, and they were all getting Social Security cards so they could work at Great America in Gurnee.
Really? Are they part of the 100,000 kids?
I would say I'm putting it together because I didn't know about the 100,000 that they brought in until I listened to you this morning.
Aren't there any kids in Gurnee with like jobs?
Yes, probably here in my community too.
Waukegan? A lot of towns up there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow. I didn't know that. Well, thank you, Dot.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Anyway, 591-8900 is the phone number. Back to more of your calls right after this on 89 WS. There,
so that's the poor, sick, and the old right there.
Yeah, there you go. Welcome to the world. Thank you, Peggy.
Okay.
Yeah, and in the case I was reading yesterday in the Times with this one family, that if they shut the program, then their child would have to go to a hospital, and Medicaid would pay that. It would be more expensive. Only with the government do you get something convoluted like that where they can do something more efficiently, cheaper, and they don't, and they end up spending more money and screwing with the family. But I thought that whole, and then I was thinking when I was reading about this copay, they want $400, and a spokesperson for the state was mentioning, well, there's got to be some shared suffering or something, some shared pain or something like that. And I was thinking of that Sandra Fluke. Remember the Georgetown law student with the contraception? How much? What was she talking about? $30 a month or $40 a month? Whatever the cost was, the nominal amount that the government had to pay. She couldn't pay out of her own pocket. I mean, I'm reading the story yesterday. It's $400 a month. These people don't have the money. That's a lot of money. And we made this big deal about, Sandra Fluke and the $40 or whatever it was a month. Like I said, things are. I didn't come down here today to get into this whole deal like this, but it's Paul from Arlington Heights calling from Wisconsin. He started all this. Blame him. It's just that the world is upside down. It really is. Obamacare. It's going to take care of you on Medicaid. Don't worry about it. You're not going to have those big co-payments. Well, gee, what's this in the Sun Times yesterday? What's going to happen when more people start getting pushed to Medicaid? And the doctors aren't going to take you because they're not getting reimbursed at a good amount. Maybe people were going up to Canada, driving through Wisconsin. I don't know. Anyway, this hour is gone. We have 2 more hours to go, yes. Well, actually, we go to 7 o'clock and then we start again and go from 7 to 8. But I'm here for you. 591-8900 is a phone number. And if if the government paid off the $50 million to anybody for Osama bin Laden, I'm curious about that. I've been trying to find out. I can't find out. Maybe you can help. Anyway, a lot more to come right here in 89 WS.